All right, hello everyone. It's Brenda Miller. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and tonight we are doing our paper pumpkin class, where we're going to make one of each of the projects in the July paper pumpkin kit. And then I'll share with you some alternatives at the end of ideas that I have found online from other demonstrators and other paper pumpkin subscribers. So why don't we go ahead and get started? And let me just pop over to my desktop. There we go. So these are the unbelievably gorgeous cards that we are making today. And the best part about them is they are so incredibly simple. They really are. There are only like 4 pieces to each one. And we're going to just get right through these without any effort at all.
I
So
think this is the best kit of the whole year.
I know, that's what everybody's saying. Everybody loves it. They had the refills for it, and they put them up the same day as there was free shipping, and they were sold out by 6:30 a.m.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And Paper Pumpkin is only in the United States. So that's really crazy.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
know.
I was like, oh, now that I see this, I should get the refill. Ha ha ha.
Right, right. That's what everybody said. And I was telling Sheila, I wonder how many people would have ordered them if it wasn't free shipping, but
Oh,
regardless, they're gone.
yep.
So,
Oh
anyway,
well.
so if we open our lovely packet, the first thing you're going to find are our little extras. So first we have the little sequins, which are always fun. This time they give us more big ones than small ones. So we'll be putting 2 big ones and 1 small one on each card, as opposed to the usual 1 big one and 2 small ones. So just keep that in mind. Next they have mini dimensionals. So we're going to use those today. And then they have this sheet. It's a 3M sheet. And what they are strips of adhesive. So I'll show you how we'll use those. I would just use regular adhesive. I'm not sure why they went with this method. Maybe they were getting, maybe they're trying something different, because those little dots can be annoying for people. This definitely is easier, but we will use those. So hang on to that. And then let's get to the package. So the first thing we have are these stunning envelopes, which go with each of the different designs. And they have a pretty liner inside. So right there, if you're looking to make extra cards with these designs, you can certainly cut apart your envelopes, or you can save them and use them as they're intended with the cards that they match. So you can put all your envelopes aside, though I'm not going to do anything with those today. So next up, we have some card bases. Now, there are 2 different card bases in this pile. First are the pink ones. So you're going to take out, I'm going to call this the pink card, and that is card number 1. So pink card, card number 1. Then you'll go through and you'll see that then we have the orange card, or the coral card. And so that's card number 2. So take out one of those, and then you can put your extras aside for your use later. Okay, then we have these nice little strips that are accents for our cards. And you can probably guess that the pink strip goes with the pink card. And then the orange strip goes with the orange card. And then the last one is the green strip, and obviously we'll be getting a green card shortly, but we just haven't gotten to it yet. So just punch out one of each of these strips and put them in your piles. Now this is the place where it gets a little bit tricky. And I'm really excited that they did this with this kit, because there are a couple of stamp sets that I had been hesitant to use in class because they're a little hard to line up if you stamp first and then die cut them with these, kind of cut around type dies. But for this project, we're going to stamp on them after the paper is already cut. So we're going to practice that today. And what's really nice is that they give you 5 of each different shape. And they go with each of the different sayings in the stamp set. Oh, I didn't talk about the stamp set. Yeah, we have this cute little stamp set. And there are 4 sayings. For the hello, there's no little die for, but 1, 2, 3, 4. And there are 4 different shapes on this sheet, okay? We are not going to use this shape today unless you want to. That goes with one of the sayings that we're not using. But let's start. I'm going to call this the left side. And we're going to take this shape. So identify that shape. And that shape goes, let me make sure I get it right, with card number 3. Okay, the one we don't have the base for yet. Okay, that's card number 3. And I actually am told they might even be upside down. We'll worry about that later. We're going to skip this row and we're going to move on to this one, which is a longer and skinnier one. And this one goes with card number 1. And finally, at the very edge, we have this really skinny one. And that goes with card number 2. Okay. And you'll see how we use them. And the rest you can put aside. Like I said, there's some extras there, plus the extra shape for the additional stamp that you can use. And so here's our card base for the 3rd card, card number 3. So that's the green card and goes with those shapes that we've already cut. Card number 3. And then finally, we have this sheet. It's really delicate, but this has, we're going to have punch outs, 1 for each card. And I'm going to start at the right side. Just carefully punch it out. And this pink one is going to go with the pink card. So that's card number 1. The middle one with the daisies is actually going to go to card number 3. So it didn't really matter which way we went. Just be really careful when you're punching them out because obviously the laser cutting is done really nicely. And there's just a few spots where it's still clipped in, but you want to make sure that you get that. So it's card number 3 with the daisies. And then these last, I guess they're poppies, go with card number 2 in the center. And those are all the pieces, which is a lot less than we usually have to work with. So like I said, just really easy. Now I watched the video. You know how there's always a video that you can watch that Stampin' Up! Makes. It's a fast action video where they go through and show you how to make all of the different cards. And woman there did a couple of odd things, I thought. And I'm going to do some of them and not some of the others because I'm not really sure why she did. I don't know what she was trying to show, but we're going to start with card number 1. And obviously we just fold it in half and the back side of the card has that pretty pink design. And a lot of people have cut apart these cards so that they could then use the back side on a different card and they mount the front onto different, maybe a basic white base or something like that. So card number 1, here's our base. Then we're going to be putting this onto the card. Now, the way that this works is you're going to put 4 of those mini dimensionals on the back. Basically, 1 behind each flower. So 1, 2, 3. And then the last one is going to go where the leaves are at the bottom. I need to get my glasses on. Let's see. And then we're going to peel off the backing once you get them on. And this is going to be mounted on the left-hand side of the card. Okay. And what's cool is that what's already on the card is kind of like a shadow for what we're putting on, and we're offsetting it off the shadow. Oops, probably went a little long. So there we go. We try to get it straight. And once you have that, then press it down and it is down and it's not going anywhere. So once you've got that on there, we're going to take the strip of pink. And this is where I'm going to do it the first time using the strip, but then I'm going to hoard the rest of mine and just use regular adhesive because I don't know why they didn't just use regular adhesive. But all you need to do is peel off. Look, this may happen to you and I'll show you what to do. You can peel it off and put it on the back, or in this case, my backing came off. And that's just fine because all you need to do, and this is what she did in the video. She did it this way and then just laid the piece down. And when you peel it off, it comes with it. Okay, so you've got that strip of very strong adhesive. But like I said, I'm going to just use regular adhesive from now on, and I'm going to hoard these for other projects that I'm probably going to use. Once you have that, you're going to be sliding this under, and just be sure not to let it stick until you've got it about where you want it. You want it to be under this leaf, maybe up a little. I'm trying to do it exactly the way they did it. And you want to make sure that it's not hanging off the edge of the card. Once you get it in place, you're going to press it down and voila. Simple as that. Okay, now let's do a little stamping. So we're going to take that little label and I'm going to suggest putting it onto a dark piece of paper, or in my case, I'm just using my silicone mat because I have it right here. And that's so that you can really see what the shape is, okay? And then we're going to take the, I'm so lucky to have you in my life. I'm so lucky, here we go, with this long one. And you'll see that the way that it fits is like so. Okay, so, you know, it's been a big trend in the last couple of years to have, you know, people have been hand cutting right around the words. And so then they've created some dies that mimic that. But like I said, I haven't been using them because they can be a little tricky to line up if you stamp first and then die cut them out. And I was a little afraid to do it this way, but now, well, let's see how we do. I found it to be very easy to do this way. The spot that you have is gray granite. It's a fabulous warm neutral. And I've actually used gray granite quite a bit these days. I'm going to use my big pad because I have one. And one of the things they do in the video is they ink up the stamp and then they stamp it off onto a piece of paper, right? Because you really want to get the oils off of the stamp. And I guess they've probably had a lot of complaints about that. So in the video, they actually stamp off, but I've already done that. So I'm just going to go ahead and because it's a photopolymer, I can see right through. And I just place it right down. And there it is. Look how beautiful that looks. So really, it is very simple to do it this way. So you may see this in an upcoming class. So how did you girls do with that? Lois, you did good? Well, Sheila, how did you do?
Okay.
Yeah, you found that to be easy enough?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, and then they used a trick similar to that what I did in a recent class. I think it was my Zoom class. And they took one of the dimensionals, and because you want to make sure you're not flattening something you're not supposed to be flattening, they took the dimensional and put it right on the inside of the frame next to the leaf. So they put one there, and then on the back side of the right side of the label, so flip it over, and then they put another one there because that one is going to be in the right spot no matter what. But because you want, if we put it on the back of this, it may have ended up like on, you know, landing on top of this, which we want to still be floating. So when you lay it down, you can, it's pretty, you know, you can do it any way you like, but you're just going to press into that. And there you go. Now it's stuck. So I was happy to see that little trick that they did. Lastly, of course, we have our little sequins that we talked about earlier. And again, we're going to use 2 big and 1 little. And I really couldn't tell where they put them on their sample. So I'll just show you where I put mine. I put 1 big one here. I'm going to put a littler one on the outside here. Just kind of going along with the other speckles. And then I'm taking 1 last big one and I'm going to put it in this space down here. They're very subtle because they are white, but you can see how they just add a little bit of shine if you catch the light the right way. So that's card number 1. How easy is that?
Pretty.
I know, and so pretty. So I can't wait to use those. Okay, on to card number 2. If I'm going too fast, you got to let me know, but I think you girls are fine with this. So we're going to fold this card in half. Has the Calypso coral on the back. Good crease. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to take our piece that has the flowers and we're going to use our mini dimensionals. Put 1 on the back of each flower. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1 on this bottom leaf down here. And once we have the backing off, this is going to be laid on the card. Here's my sample. On the right side, so the opposite of what we just did. So this is going to go to the right. We could easily do it the exact same way, but this one they did to the right side, allowing that shadow to show through. And I recommend trying to get it straight. I have a camera in my face, so I can't really. I tend to be a little crooked. It's a little button. Pick it up so I can see. That's a little better. All right. So we've got it, and that looks beautiful just the way it is. Now we're going to take our orange strip, and I'm just going to use my regular adhesive this time. Like I said, I'm going to hoard those other ones. And this one, we're going to put same thing. We're sliding this one under, and we're putting it a little below that first poppy. And again, getting it straight. I highly recommend. I can't always do it. And that's that. So then we're going to come back to stamping. So again, I'm going to pull out my mat, lay that down, and I'm going to switch out my sentiment. And this one is going to say, let's celebrate you. Peel this off. Let's celebrate you is like right in the middle. And it's the slimmest one. Lay it down on my block, and you can see that it's going to fit with the, actually I should do it that way so you can see. So let's celebrate you. It's going to end up like this. So the loops and the T, the top of the T, are going to be in there, and it's sticking to my fingers. It doesn't really matter, but you get the idea. That's where it's going to end up. So then we're going to take our ink pad and tap, 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 and then you're going to stamp off and then tap, tap, tap again just to get that oil off, and then stamp it right on. Let's see. And there you go. Let's celebrate you. Again, I love it. They mix the fonts. I can't get enough of that. That's always my favorite part. And once you have that stamped, they did the same exact thing as they did on the last card, which was put one of the dimensionals on the inside here so that it doesn't squash anything. It's going to go here. Put off. And this one, on the back, whoops, on the back of the left side, so under the lets, they put a dimensional so that when you put it onto the card, it sits up just the way it's supposed to. And there you go. Oops, mine's crooked. You guys can probably see that better than I can. Here we go. Let me do this. All right. Let's celebrate you. And then again, we're going to get our little gems. Can you believe how fast this is going? It's crazy. So quick and easy. I just put my sequins where the speckles are on the left side above the words, and then I'm going to put one big one underneath as well. And that's it. Crazy how easy this is. And beautiful. Good?
Yes.
All right. So let's move to the last one. It's all pretty much the same, but we are going to do one thing a little bit differently on this one. So let's fold the card. And on the card front for this one, because of where the lowest dimensional is going to end up going, we're going to want to put down this green strip first so that you don't have to worry about trying to slide it under and running into that, that dimensional. So we are going to take this. I'm going to put our adhesive on the back, whether you use the strip or if you use regular adhesive. And it's going to go about, what's that, 3/4 of an inch from the bottom on the left side. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Again, getting it straight is probably a good idea. And once again, I did not. So just remember to hold it up so I can see what I'm doing. So now that's down. So now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing, which is take 4 dimensionals, one on the back of each of the flowers. Ugh. And then one on the back of one of the leaves down here at the bottom to give it a little stability. But it's just enough to keep the whole frame afloat so that it looks like it is floating. And this one they actually put in the center of the card as opposed to off to the left or to the right. And we do it about there. Okay, not too crooked this time. That's good. So beautiful, just the way it is. But of course, we're going to add our sentiment to it. And for this one, needs to, we didn't really talk about direction. I've just been showing you how I've been laying it down. Let me get my piece here so we can see. So it's going to go that way. And you know that because the saying that we're putting on this one, when you lay it down, it's going to be like that. Okay, so that's how you know you have your shape in the right direction that you need. So we'll just grab that and we'll ink up our stamp. Tap, tap, tap. And just line it up kind of in the center. And there it is. Friends like you make life beautiful. Such a nice sentiment. And again, they did the same thing. Now, this one I had a harder time with putting the squeezing it into the right spot. So I just picked a spot and adhered my little blue dot. Just going to make sure I cover it. And again, on the back of the left side, I'm going to put the other dimensional. And then you can lay it down however you like. See if I get it straight this time. And there you go. And then lastly is our little sequence. So I'm just finding it easier today to use the pointy end of my take your pick tool instead of the pushy end. No special reason. Actually, I took it out because when I use those little strips of adhesive to get the top of the adhesive off, a lot of times I'll need to use this, but we didn't have to because the backing came off. This last one, they put here. So there you go. You can see I put this sequence here, here, and here. Of course, you could do whatever you want. I think I saw somebody put them into the center of the flowers, which would be pretty too. So those are all the cards. How quick and easy was that?
That is easy.
I know, I couldn't believe it. But let's see what some people did with this. Let me go to the beginning and I will show you. Let's see. I need to come back here and share my screen. Here. Share. And we're going to slideshow. Sorry, a little slow here. There we go, from the beginning. This way we can see it big. So as I mentioned, Allison, this is our very own Allison. She is on our team. And what she did is she cut the front of each of the cards off, trimmed it down a little bit, and then put it on a white card base so that she could use the back side of the cards as paper for other cards that she made. And if you wanted to see that, you could go to her blog, which is allisonstamps.blogspot.com. Encourage you to do it. She's got some other things there. So that's like the easiest way to create something different. Then somebody took some of those frames that were in a kit that were no longer carried, but they went ahead and they put the elements into the frames. You know, you can get these shadow box frames, you know, at Michael's or whatever. They're tiny. I think they're 6 by 6. Like I said, the kit that they came with is no longer available. I did check that, but you can certainly do this on your own. And that's Angie Rother. Next up, I thought this was fabulous by putting it on black. Look how they stand out, how pretty they look.
Stunning.
Putting a little bit of ribbon, doing some creative things with it. That's Becky Ewing. Next up, scrapbook pages. You can easily take the cards and the elements and use them on a scrapbook page, which we all know is going to be bigger and bigger now that we have acquired or joined forces with Close to My Heart. So I love that they put it in, and you'll recognize this congrats is from last month's kit. So that they put that on there, which I think is awesome. So that's Christine Ponte. And then this one, Lori Alexander, she made these into, does anybody know what these cards are called? They have a name. They're not easel cards, but I just can't remember what they're called. But this fun fold isn't that difficult to do. And you can see how she combined it with the eyelet folder. And she, you know, they're just the basic pieces. She took the back of the card or perhaps the inside of the envelope to make the backgrounds. But I thought that was really well done. Look at this from one kit.
Wow.
Did this, and she didn't even cut apart the envelopes. She said she could have made an additional 9 cards had she cut apart the envelope. So you can see all the different things. Granted, she did add some things, some of these butterflies, and she did some stamping. We'll talk about that in a second. But I thought, wow, that was a lot of cards to do out of the one kit. So that's Michelle Avance. Then this is somebody else doing a frame where they just lined up. It's basically the card fronts flat behind a frame.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Really pretty and really no effort at all on this one. Really amazing. So that's Patricia Estrada. Then Sharon Bardsley. I just like the way that this is a shaker card. And so she cut out the center here on a separate piece.
No, it's fine.
And then she, put the dimensional strips and then added some little glittery things in the background. I forget what we call them. We carry them, but they're champagne somethings. Anyway, super pretty. Then this one, I had to blow up a little bit. Look how easy this is, girls. We know how to do this. All she did, she turned the card around basically, and she turned it inside out and then folded back the back, right? So that we could see the pretty paper on the back. See, it's just that same fold that we always do. And then just adhered part of the cutout, framed area to the left side of the card only, making it that full card. So I thought that was really clever, Susie Jewell. And then this last one is Rachel Tessman, and it's super simple, but I wanted to show you why this is so exciting. It's because the stamp set includes that pretty flower. And I want to show you, I'm going to bring you back from this. This is the last one. So I'm going to bring you back. I'm just going to stop sharing and show you what I'm talking about. This is the Every Celebration dies. These are the dies that coordinate with the July, August, and September paper pumpkin kit. And look what's inside. It is, ta-da! We have the die that cuts out the flower. So I was excited to see that because it's going to be perfect. And then it also comes with a leaf. So I'm assuming next month is going to be something fall related, and it'll be nice to have a detailed leaf like this. And then it also says hooray, which must be the September kit, I would think, or maybe I switched them. Regardless, we haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I was just really excited. I was like, how did she cut that out? And I've had this sitting here and I just didn't even think to look, and it occurred to me that it is the same flower. So very exciting. So if that's something that you want to get, it's $12 and you get all 3 of the dies, and they're only while supplies last. So you would have to make sure that you order them. And for those of you who might have bonus days coupons from ordering last month, that could help pay for these dies to have that go with the stamp sets. So that is everything that I have for today. There are so many great alternative projects out there. I just try to pick 10 to show, and they'll be in an email tomorrow with the PDF that has that slideshow. But you can certainly just look up Stampin' Paper Pumpkin July 2024. And if you do that on Google, it will take you to tons of ideas. If you go to images, and you'll be amazed at how many different videos are out there that you can watch of people doing different things, and just the different designs. And of course, there's Pinterest and all the other ways that you can get great ideas. But if you're like me, I'm just going to use them just the way they are, because they're beautiful just the way they are. So
Yes, they are.
yeah. So anybody have any questions on anything going on?
Nope.
Today is August 1st, unbelievably. So we get a whole new month of creativity, right? Lots of classes and everything coming up. So hopefully I'll see you all again at some point this month. I know it's a big vacation month, but we'll still be here. You can still join in online. All right, ladies. That's
Thank you
all
so
I have.
much.
All right. Thank you so much for joining.
Good
Take care.
night.
Good night.
Bye.